So let's talk about empathy on a broader spectrum, just because it's a little easier trying to get a hold of the positive, negative side of things. When we look at the side of the spectrum that's basically in the dark, people that have no empathy at all, none, we're talking about Dark Triad. And these people have become really buzzwordy in our society right now. That's kind of a problem because suddenly everybody is one of these. The Dark Triad, just so you know, are narcissists, psychopaths and sociopaths, and Machiavellians, are people that manipulate other people to their own good all the time, no matter how bad it hurts the other person. Think of like romance scammers, some politicians, that sort of thing. We throw these words around a lot in our society. And right now, narcissist is a big one. And the problem is you can have people that do narcissistic things or act in a narcissistic way, but aren't narcissists. People behaving badly are not necessarily narcissists any more than people behaving well are empaths or Light Triad people. And I'm not going to get into the differentiation between what I talk about and what society talks about as far as empathy and empaths. That's a different discussion for another day. But the point is if you're at the dark end of this spectrum, people that have no empathy at all, that are diagnosable, you're talking narcissists, psychopaths and sociopaths, and Machiavellians. So if we say human behavior is on a spectrum and we have stuff at the other end, if we have a Dark Triad, shouldn't we have a Light Triad? Well, the answer is yeah, we do, as a matter of fact. We just don't talk about it because they don't hurt anybody. But the three kinds of Light Triad people are people that are Kantian, have Kantianism, or just kind of a general benevolence for the human race, humanism, and faith in humanity. And these are the people that are going to have the most empathy. These are going to be your major leaders who actually see social good, who want economic good for others, who put others first without necessarily taking away from themselves. Remember last week we talked about boundaries. You can have empathy and do good for other people and still have boundaries. The fact that these people have that much empathy doesn't mean they don't have boundaries. It just means that they place the greater good above all else. So yeah, there is such a thing as a Light Triad. And yeah, we should be talking about it a lot more. We spend so much time in the mud and the dirt with the narcissists and the psychopaths because we're fascinated by them and they do damage. And we want to know how to avoid that damage. But why not bring out the Light Triad? Why not raise these people up as heroes? Why not model ourselves after them? So that's empathy on a grand scale, on a behavioral scale. What about using empathy for positive in a day-to-day world? Well, when is the last time that someone you were around had a fantastic thing to talk about, had a huge victory, got accepted into the right college, won a baseball game, did well at work, and you knew they were really excited about it, but someone else was just kind of like, oh, that's nice. Or my favorite, good for you. They didn't take time to enjoy that positivity any more than they probably would take time to enjoy that negativity. You're still being in that emotion. It may not be the suck. It might be the glory. You might sit in the glory with that person. Would that be so bad? We need to take time to celebrate the good things as well. Empathy is a hard emotion, or it can be. If you're really in a place with someone who's really having a hard time, it can be almost painful. But we need to be able to understand that and be part of that. So let's take this to the next level and talk about leadership. Because for those in leadership positions, This can be your entryway into actually having empathy and feeling empathy for your people, for the others around you, for your peers and colleagues, for associates, for other stakeholders, including the customer. How many times at work have you been at a birthday party or retirement party or anniversary? Been with the company 10 years kind of thing. And the leadership didn't even bother to show up. Or if they did, they came long enough to grab a piece of cake and then left. They didn't take the time to join into the positive. The problem with being in leadership is someone is always watching. Whether you think they are or not, they are watching what you do and they're paying attention. And when you do that, someone notices. If you allow it to happen, now you're saying, well, nobody else needs to be in this celebration either. Well, then why bother? Let's talk about how morale drops. Let's talk about why loyalty drops. Because the positive is the easy stuff. This is where you get to say, thank you for your 40 years of service. This is really important. And maybe whoever you are, you're not a CEO. Maybe you're a med tech. Maybe you're a salesperson. Maybe you're housekeeping. Maybe you're anybody within the realm of this company, but you're still valuable enough for us to celebrate your achievements and what you've done for us all. But instead, everybody's just too busy. I don't want to celebrate it. I don't want to see it. Yeah, whatever. Good for you. Leadership, when you do this, you're setting the example that you are not willing to engage in empathy even when it's easy with the positive.